Ran an 8k without training, so I did have some cardio, but I hadn't took foot to running since last year's 8k on the 20th of September 2024. So I completed the two Johnny's 8k run in Care. Let's just talk about yesterday before even the run. I started off, got my ice bath done, then I headed to do my fasted cardio. Everything was the same, as in I added the run to make my prep obviously better, right? As in I wasn't prioritizing this run over everything in relation to my photo shoot. What happened was I did my cardio, same as usual every other Saturday. I went in and I ate my pre-workout food and I headed to the lab in Newcastle West, smashed my upper session, and then I had my post-workout food, which was at 12 o'clock. And then what I did was at 2 o'clock I had my chicken and rice meal. That was a couple of hours. The run was at 5 o'clock. Collected his girlfriend, I was like, we'll head to the run. So I went to Mitchellstown with Dean, got a black coffee there at 4 o'clock, because that's what I was like, bit of a hit there as well. But I had gave the insulin from my cream of rice meal, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, what you want, I'm going to eat it now because I'm going to go a bit lower. I reached back for my cream of rice meal and it wasn't there. From Mitchellstown to go back home to Bellanders, collect my food, eat it actually. I devoured it then because obviously I'd given the insulin in Mitchellstown. 15-20 minutes is what I needed to get it in. And then I headed to Care. Luckily enough, we were still early enough, you know, it was still 20 minutes before. We were going to be there in loads of time. Like, sure, it worked out better that we had no time to be thinking even of the run. Got to Care. Then, you know, checking my insulin levels, seeing what way it is. Then what I did was I put my lifts in my pocket, I took my injection into my pocket. I basically had these on. I had my polar system, I put this on because my initial plan was to keep the heart rate at a certain level. At 120 to 130, that's what I was planning on doing. But that didn't go according to plan, which I will explain in a minute. I got the lift strings in my pocket, walked down, and I realised that my blood sugars were 5, and I was like, this is not good. Like, I need to have a bit more sugar into this. It's going to go low, and that's going to be an awful situation. I have to stop up or not be able to complete the run or whatever. I got a lift drink in on the way, right, walking, and then just as we were starting, I took another one because I was still 5.0. I took another one, and I was like, I've tuned in, that's 30 grams of carbohydrates there, because lift drinks are about 15. So I was like, that's all well and good. Took off in the run at a slow pace. Last year, went head for leather. This is what I was doing this year. I said I was going to set my pace out. I was going to go slow, tip away throughout this run. Set off like people took off, sprinted, and that was me last year. And then I was like, look, a handy pace. I took off, wasn't sticking to no one, had my music on, my headphones were on, enjoying it. It was a lovely weather, thankfully. It was actually a brilliant day for a run. So went out, it was about the 7 minutes roughly pace that I was doing. Started off really slow. The thing about my heart rate, I was 120, 130 before even starting the race. My adrenaline had my heart rate spiked, so I couldn't actually go to the 130 heart rate, what I was planning, because it was up there already. I was like, okay, this is not really a great start here, but what we'll do is we'll set a pace that I'm comfortable with, and that, like, you know, what some people would say that they could have a chat. Obviously, I wouldn't been able to have a chat at the pace I was slightly going. Look, I'm 6 foot, my pace is fairly long enough, so I set my pace. I was about 6.5 minutes, then 7 minutes short pace. I was like, nice one. And what I started to notice was I started to pick off certain people. Some people that like sprinted, it was me last year. I started to pick them off. Like, we were like 2-3 kilometers in, and I was like, okay, this is, my body's going okay. Like, I had found my groove. Like 3 kilometers in, I was like, this is ideal. I knew at the 4.5k that they had one water station. So at the water station, I had planned on reviewing sugars, you know, at that situation. So 4.5 came, I should have seen the water. That's the only downfall I will say. The water was like this amount in the glass, like this tiny bit amount. So got the water in, had a look at my basic sugars. It was 5.0 still, and I was like, this is crazy. It hasn't budged, it's stayed perfect. And I was like, wow. I was actually shocked with myself and how I even got this, because I was expecting a low or even me to shoot up high from 2 of them. I took another lift drink because I was like, halfway, I've only 3.5 now left. Brilliant, we'll get another one in. So got another one in and then just took off, but I stayed out at the 7-minute K again, 7 minutes per kilometre. And then obviously this reduced as I was going along, so I kept tracking along. But the interesting thing was this year, I seen certain spots and I was going, oh geez, there's where I was nearly getting sick, and geez, this hill was awful, here's where I had to stop. Last year I stopped, I don't know, maybe about 100 times. Stop, start, stop, start. This time I only stopped once, right? I only stopped at the water station. I didn't stop anytime else, not once. Even my polar system will even back me up here, and my Garmin watch will back me up. There was nothing. Like, you will see that one line in the middle at the literally halfway point, that was for the water and the lift. So this was brilliant. Everything was all going good, pace all good. I was like, happy days. The last, like when I got to near the roadside at the top, there was a gate, and I was like, oh my god, that is the gate I actually did stop up at. And I went in and people were like, you alright? And I was like, oh fine, keep going. And then yeah, I was nearly puking there last year. I wasn't even really puking, but it was just not feeling good. And it was very dry alright. It was a warm, beautiful day, but you know, I was kind of dry enough alright. Maybe the lift drinks and certain stuff like that might have, because I had dextrose tablets as well with me, just in case I needed more, because I had the 3 lift drinks gone. I took 3 with me, but I had dextrose tablets. I had a backup supply again of to make sure that I didn't go low and be an emergency situation, and had my insulin in case they spiked up the other way. The last 1 kilometre I was like, right, we're going good here. I was like, I've got a good bit in my legs. I was like, I could go ahead for a letter, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my pace. I'm going to pick up the pace a tiny bit. I'm going to make sure it's coming in around the 6 minute a kilometre towards the end. Set out, I was like, yeah, okay, we'll go the 6 minute a kilometre. So this was all well and good. Pushed through it, extra stride. My stride even got like wider as I was going through along the last half a K. Pushed through, overtook a few more people as well as I was coming along. And like, I even took off my headphones down just to get that atmosphere towards the end to finish of, like, you know, people cheered and roaring as crossing over the finish line. I literally crossed over the finish line. I was like, brilliant. My quads were in bits. My quads were, I was like, am I going to cramp? Am I going to seize up? What is going on here? My quads didn't know what was going on. My face was burning, as in with the sweat pouring through. I was like, salt coming out of me. I was like, oh my god. But I didn't, luckily enough, I didn't cramp up. I was walking about there for a while, and then what I was actually doing is I was turning around straight away and I was trying to get the videos of people coming in. But as I walked down, I went straight for the water. I went straight for the water and downed literally a bottle of water straight away. And I missed to see one of the sisters coming in because I was getting the water. But then I got like the sister's boyfriend coming in and my girlfriend in and my other sister coming in. I got her on video. Then we were all just chatting there for a few minutes, and I seen a fella at the side. He was doing like massage rubs, and I was like, fucking my quads could do with that. Headed over there, got the quads just rubbed out. Look, it's nothing like wheeling, nothing like that, but look, gotta think, right, this lad sponsored in relation to it, did it for free. Absolute brilliant stuff in relation to the guy that was doing it. Look, anything at all, even getting blood flow into the area, a bit of a rub there, was brilliant. So it definitely did, I'd say, help my quads out. I'm looking forward to it when Wilhelmina comes back on holidays, because my body will need a full kind of breakdown again, which I'm back in 2 weeks anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. But look, today, look, I'm stiff. My shoulder blades, between the shoulder blades, I am not used to running. It's like a new exercise. Anything with a new exercise, DOMS comes like delayed onset muscle soreness. I am sore. I'm not gonna lie there. I've kept my hydration up though, kept my water intake high, making sure my food is to a T. There's no question of that. I'll go back to what I ate even after the run in a minute. As the day was going on today, I was getting stiffer on my back. I thought I was in back as my rhomboids, shoulder blades just from moving, quads and bits. My hamstrings not really, like at all. Quad calves, like, you know, everyone was getting their calves and hamstrings rubbed out, and I was like, quads, you know. But as now today, my glutes, everything's just getting tired. But that's just tiredness. And last night, lack of sleep probably as well. I was in bed a little way later. I'll go on to that in a minute. So after the run, I'll go back into it now. So after the run, I no, after the run, my sugar started to spike. I was like, the adrenaline, the spike, cortisol, it's over, the run's done. It started shooting up. So I gave 3 units of insulin because I had the insulin with me, so I just took it out of my pocket, bang, in the middle of everyone. Don't really care. I don't care in relation to that. If people having issues with me stabbing myself a needle injection in public, that is their own issue, not my issue. I needed to live, so I don't care where I do it. But luckily I have that confidence. I know there's a lot of young kids, not even young kids, teenagers. I was one of these that was trying to hide. Do you know, like, it's actually, do you know what, it's more of a stigma that diabetics are actually nearly expected to go into a bathroom to do their injections and they come out and eat their food or anything like that. I'm all for breaking that stigma, because, you know, everyone's equal at the end of the day. But to go back after runs to give 3 units of insulin, that worked to a T. Brought down the sugars. I was like, brilliant. So I was like 5 and then 6, 7 I seen spike and back down to 5, and I was like, we nailed it. We just nailed it there. That was perfect, the sweet spot of 3. So then went home. No, I didn't. We went back into the sister's place in care. Literally grabbed the shower, and then I got in my bagel and turkey rasher meal, which was unbelievable. This was the last meal I had. This was about 7:30, 8 o'clock. This was the last meal I had. I did have about 4 litres of water in before this meal to after that meal. I had a lot of water intake. Look, we were out that night then in care as well, and the whole lot of us, even my other sister's boyfriend came along after work, and my other brother came along after his work as well. There was a group of us that did go out, and we had just a banter as well in the house first, and then we headed out. We headed out late enough. It was about 11 o'clock when we were heading out to care. I headed out, and literally, it's probably no guessing what I probably ordered. Water. Yeah, I was on the pints of water. I didn't have any Coke Zeros actually. Did I have Coke Zero? No, I didn't have any Coke Zero actually. And I did, because yeah, they bought me 1 Coke Zero yesterday, because he's like, oh, you're going mad now, you're on the Coke Zero. But it was all pints of water and 1 Coke Zero, which is ideal, like, because obviously if I had lower Coke Zeros, I wouldn't have been able to sleep. We were out until 2:30, I'd say. I'd say it was about 2:30. Because we were walking back to Sis place, and I didn't go back to the Sis place. I hopped into my car, except for my girlfriend, and we went home to Ballylanders. Got a good rest there, and then got up the next day. You know, and look, listen to this. I got up the next day, and I got up, got my water intake, got my electrolytes, got all my vitamins in, and I done my fasted cardio again. No excuses on this prep, absolutely none. I got my cardio done. Then shower, and then headed off to Limerick. And the thing we're heading off to Limerick, I have, what have I, 12,000 steps. You know, that was my goal for today. After a fella that run 8k and Joe hasn't run since the last 8k in 2024, that's exactly where it is. But it's all mindset. 5k in, I got a stitch. And do you know what I said to myself? I said to myself, I did a video actually yesterday morning on the way down to the gym, which you'll probably see in another video of mine. I talked about the ability of being able to do it, and the luxury and, like, you know, the privilege of that, because certain people don't have that capability of actually doing it. That kind of hit me in 5k. I was like, look, you have a stitch. People, like, get on with it. Just push through. So it was a mindset. I just flicked the switch and just drove on. I didn't slow down. I kept the same pace. I ignored it. And that's says it all, really. Says it all in relation to my mindset, even for this prep. You know, food was nailed. Like, look, people say, oh geez, no, I've this and that. There was everything around me. There was, even after the run, like bananas, oranges, everything. I could have literally went into all of those, and you know, because they were there, free, hydrate, whatever. I didn't touch them. I had the water. Came with, around the house, there was protein balls, there was, you know, Pringles, potatoes, sweets, everything. Didn't touch them. So it's a mindset thing. I am on a different level to a lot of people, but a lot of people just say that as an excuse. If you're like saying, ah, sure, yeah, it's different, you're different, like, you know, I'm not different. I'm not different to anyone. I have a lot more complications than a good few people in relation to that. Yes, I am different, as in, like, I have arthritis, I have diabetes, you know, but I'm working with what I have and I'm pushing on, and I have that mindset that nothing is going to hold me back, which is key. So the run smashed. Everyone did it in under the hour. I clocked in on my polar system at 48 minutes 90 for 8.16. The reason why it's 8.16, we started way behind the start line. 0.16 behind it because it was a massive queue. There was 490 people I think there, which was a good crew. So I wanted to start back, and we just joined the queue towards the end. So I set on my polar system there because I was like, look, I'm just going to be messing as like the adrenaline and everything rushing over the line, it'll probably mess up. I was like, get it. Even before I was moving, I had it on, which was perfect. But the premier timing system then, the gun time and the chip time, they have it the exact same. Which I know a lot of people are going to be fuming over this, because obviously with the likes of myself and my two sisters and girlfriend and my sister's boyfriend, we were well behind. Our basically chip time and start time is completely different. They're not the exact same. There's at least, I'd say, about 20 seconds. There was actually 20 seconds. No, it wasn't, was there? I think it clocked me at 49.15 or something like that, but I got 48.90, so there's about 25 seconds in relation to that, which is a lot in relation to, let's say, if you were the woman that did it in 28 minutes, the 8K, you know, that is someone that's going for PBs. For me, look, it doesn't really matter because I just went out there to enjoy it, to get it done, to add it to my prep. But I even shocked myself in the level of fitness. Like, in what I said at the start, I hadn't run. I have done cardio. I've done cardio every single day since I joined my coach, because we, even in the improvement phase, which some people call a bulk, we've kept 20 minutes cardio in to make sure cardiovascular health is in a good place, because a healthy body is a responsive body at the end of the day. Now that my cardio is at 30 minutes and I was pushing to 130, 140 heart rate, helps me an awful lot. The timing of the meals were absolutely bang on. Added no extras in, no intra carbs, no jellies, no gels, nothing, because our priority was just to go out, have a move in this basic run. It wasn't to go out and smash PB, smash anything like that. So that's why nothing was added in. If we were going for performance, yes, we would be adding in a certain different stuff. Timing black coffees, timing intra carbs, timing gels, timing everything to a T in relation to our outcome of our goal. But I nailed it. I am actually very happy with myself in relation to the time I got and the way I actually structured and the way I pulled myself back, the way I was able to handle that, even the adrenaline on the day. Everyone that even got from coming in, she said herself she wanted under the 60 minutes, absolutely smashed it, because I was looking at the fucking time, I was like, oh my god. I was nearly more nervous fucking than her probably crossing the line. I was like, will she get it? Because I knew if she didn't get it, she would be sick, and she's training hard, unbelievable hard in relation to smashing in the gym and at Hyrox's. Look, I knew she would do a hell of a lot better than last year, and she did. She absolutely smashed the 8K as well. And then it was funny because she passed out one of my sisters. I think it was like the last half K. She beat it by 2 seconds, which was brilliant. And she was like, "Did you not see you pass me out?" And she was like, "No, I was looking at the ground." But that was brilliant. My other sister was right behind me, and I didn't know that. I was lucky I did kind of pick up the pace the last half K as well, because she would have passed me out. Like that, as in when I was going get in the water after the race, she was clocking in, so I never got the video of her. When she actually crossed over the line, I got the video of everyone else, Joe, crossing over the line. And like Joe, the sister's boyfriend, then he came in as well under the hour as well. He was in just the 50s, early 50s I think it was. I can't really remember now at the moment. Everyone absolutely smashed it compared to last year. Second year doing it, absolutely brilliant event, so hands down to the two Johnnies for that. I really enjoyed it. Now tomorrow, what happens is the same thing again. I'll get up, I'll get my ice bath, I do my cardio. Tomorrow's a push session, push session tomorrow, which would be nice to free out the joints. I always find when I'm stiff that if I work out it's better, but that's what I'll do. And then Tuesday I'll do a pull and leg session. I might actually do legs as well to free out. So I'll feel a lot better after this week. My physio will be back. 2 weeks, he's going on holidays this week, Spain. I'll be, I won't have him now for a week. 2 weeks. Well, no, I'm actually in 3 weeks time anyway. I was there last week, so it's 2 weeks time or whatever. It'll be good to get the body a full rundown from then. Now it's just nailing cardios at the moment. Back to nailing just cardio. Back to just keeping food on point, making sure that I tick the boxes. This Thursday, my coach said he's turning the screw. Looking forward to seeing what that entails. My weight was down to its lowest this morning, which it was going to be after doing the old 8k. I was hitting the 94.7, which is a bit of a jump down. I'll see what it is. Weighs in the morning, it might increase back up. Looking forward to this prep and looking forward to absolutely getting shredded on a totally different mindset from any single one of my preps. If you want to see what I'm doing, get influenced even by what I'm doing, get that basically motivation driven off, you know, passing off that, even whatever I can bring, share, I will do. Be sure to be following me, like, subscribe, share, whatever platform you're seeing this on. Be sure to drop me a message as well. Drop me a message below. Like, it's all well and good people watching these, but like, get a bit of interaction as well. Let me know what you're thinking even about these videos. You know, I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna chat to you in the next one.